Hello, this is Matt Limited and Alexa, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
So last time we left off, the UAR is being invaded by everyone. Morocco had a civil war. They're still trying to invade Laos and failing. You're still led by the Bruang She Yun. You still have no content. And we're going to get a communist Iran soon, and a communist Israel. So I already went over what our allies were doing last, before the end of our last video. So let's just get started. Boom. What is it? It's now 1958. Probably nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, the Suez Crisis, so Bolsheviks and stuff. The Battle of Hayes Pond. Today, a gathering of South Carolina-based Ku Klux Klan was raided by 500 Lurbee men after James Cole, the leader of the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, in the area had been campaigning termination against the Lumbee. After gaining limited federal recognition, after the Ku Klux Klan KKK set up a sympathetic farmers' yield, the Lumbee men circled the KKK and proceeded to yell and attack the KKK while shooting at the Klansmen. The Klansmen attempted to return fire, but failed, end up in 4 Klansmen being wounded and the rest fleeing, leaving their families. Their public address system and an unlit cross, with Robeson County deputies and sheriff breaking up the celebration by the Lurbees with tear gas. The actual event that happened. Let me get it up. Phone. Bellefine's phone. Yeah, the actual thing that happened in Maxton, North Carolina. Very interesting. Anyway, more important things. This is going to be interesting where this pops up. That's been done. Make specified education free. Give me 4 years to teach the children, then the seed I have sown will never be uprooted. Comrade Lenin word rings true now more than ever. As our world becomes more technologically advanced, our educators must answer the challenge. Effectively, immediately, all technical schools and universities will be free for qualified students. Everyone has the chance something because they need to fix that. Now, what's everyone doing? You're attempting to reopen pipelines. You're undermining the Turkish Communist Party's Marxist-Leninist faction. don't know. You're getting the second 5-year plan. You're repairing Yugoslavian relations. You're conducting personality cults. You're getting the American P470 Thunderbolt. You're acquiring MiGs. You're emulating Tito. You're getting the Kommunistische Partie Österreichs über alles, or the Communist Party of Austria overall. You're reapproaching Tito. You're weakening the propaganda machine. You're curtailing the secret police. You can't do anything. We don't know. We don't know. You're embracing de-Stalinism. We don't know. As the damn election hasn't happened yet. Don't know. You're monitoring the right-wing shift in loud politics. Don't know, but I'm pretty sure you can't do anything. Don't know, but I'm very sure you can't do anything. Also, I'm pretty sure I found the... That's diplomacy. That's the factions. Ah, here's the ideology. So, past this point, everything's... Well, past... Really, this point, everything's socialist, mostly. Technically, the UAR is classified as nationalist, but Balforism is technically a very communist thing, so... Hey ho. I need to check on you. You're accepting heredity protests. What are the ones that you were... Yeah, you were gonna put them in national service. So you could become communist. How about you, Iran? What are you doing? You're doing the Soviet gambit. Very good. Do not concede to American demands. You're gonna watch Iran like a hawk. By the way, don't make a rapprochement of the Organization of American States. Following the election of Juan Quinn Balungua, probably said that wrong, as president of the Dominican Republic, the new leadership has vigorously sought to repair the image of the nation internationally. Many members of the Organization of American States accused the Dominican Republic of being repressive dictatorial under Rafael Trujillo, but with wider regional ambitions. There have also been a number of protests by student groups across Latin America against political repression in the country. President Balagua priced his change, noting his effort to slowly bring the democratic reform, as he indicates a desire to engage other nations through cooperation, not aggression, although it is not clear how the Organization of American States will react to the overture. Many in the Dominican Republic have welcomed the opening of ties across the Latin American world. Good. Revelation of the brutality of the Mongolian Great Purge. The Mongol Communist Party concluded public discussions regarding the past suggestions and excessive violence occurred during the Great Purge of 1937 to 1939. The party regrets the loss of life and cultural destruction during the period. More importantly, the party decides to rehabilitate party members who were condemned for being overly nationalistic. Many in the party blamed the role of Soviet advisors, especially from the NKVD, who accused of directing the controlling of violence, which includes torture and establishment of prison camps. The communist leader of the period and beloved Marshal Choi Basalan was also criticized for committing mistakes during the time of building a cult personality. Some of the party's old guard are on corner with these proceedings. Interesting news. You also can get a new spy, because one of them died. Vasily Menshikov. Put you in Jerusalem. See how things are going there. Oh, the Arab Federation now exists. Today, the Kingdom of Iraq and Jordan have announced the form of the Arab Federation, which may seen in response to the United Arab Republic formed by Egypt. King Faisal of Iraq and his cousin King Hussein of Jordan, both descendants of the Hashemite dynasty that ruled Arabia since till 1921, have disclosed that they have been longer been planning the Arabic Union of States. This union is seen to direct consequence to Iraq leaving the Baghdad Pact, and to ensure the country's independence from their Western Arabic counterparts. Egypt, although a federation by name, many see the new state to be a confederation, and it has upset a lot of people. The United Arab Republic has yet to make a formal state. Fifth, though, the reports of Israeli normalization, nevertheless, still, this is a momentous step for the Middle East and possibly even the world. New force in the Middle East. I think it's supposed to be a faction. Well, they haven't made it. The Fed's packed it. It's probably going to go nowhere. The introduction of Pinyin. The Chinese government has published a document announcing the official romanization system for the Chinese language called Pinyin. Pinyin is a system result of the top Chinese linguists collaborating the issue for the Ministry of Education. The government claims this will make it easier for the government to translate foreign documents and make the Chinese language more approachable abroad. More importantly, it will enable China to more effectively spread its ideas and opinions across the globe. The Chinese government will attempt to create a romanization of the Chinese since the 12th century, and the United States government made its own system called the Yale system. Pinyin is meant to replace the Yale system, and the Chinese government was quite quick to declare Pinyin as official romanization of the Chinese language. Interesting. Alright then. The introduction of the People's Control Commission Committee. The People's Control Commission Committee is a semi-governmental organization consisting of Soviet masters who volunteered their time to scrutinize the conduct of government officials. Through the idea has existed since the 1920s in some shape or form. Korik Ivanovich that has expanded the authority of the PCCC will have power to reprimand, fine, or even press charges against corrupt officials. Let's roll. Cool. Get preventable maintenance. The Chinese National People's Congress, the Communist Party of China, has declared today for the first time they have taken power during the Chinese Civil War, that the National People's Congress Those the people's role of China's highest organ of power, of state power and national legislature will be liberalized, and there will be more active participants of minor parties. The current part of the legislation, one of the strongest supporters move was the Revolutionary Committee of the Chinese Nationalist Party, the Chinese Democratic League, and the Chinese Democratic National Construction Association. There was also two parties that were strong supporters for this move, and have been hailed for the next step of freeing China from becoming an oppressive regime. Interesting. Inanonu, diagnosed with schizophrenia. Today, Turkey has stood in shock today as the Turkish Communist Party expels İsmet İnönü from the Communist Party for not displaying cognitive ability to perform a complex task. In a medical report leaked to the press, İnönü is found to have an IQ of only 84, or a tumor in his cerebral cortex, and severe case of schizophrenia. Many Turks are in disbelief. The former president's staggering fall from grace. On the other side of the Iron Curtain, multiple human rights and medical organizations have condemned the report, saying the test was most likely fabricated and intentionally leaked to the press. The Turkish government denied these claims and states their actions to remove İnönü from the public was the choice to protect him from himself. That's usually a good thing if it's for people with schizophrenia. Another problem in government. Coloured TV. There's a U in coloured. It's COLOUR. Did it right, people? Anyway. Kurds flee Iran. You can also contact Chubbai. Yesterday, the region of Mohammadabad and South Azerbaijan in Iran were rocked as a swarm of Kurdish refugees flooded the border. While Iran has expressed less sympathy for the Kurdish refugees, Shah Pahlavi has stated that Iran is in no position to accommodate 500,000 refugees. This statement was soon declared as acres of land which were stripped bare by hungry Kurds when questioned as why so many Kurds would flee the communist regime. Both the Iranians and the UN liberators were met with a wall of silence, as not a single Kurd of 500,000 refugees spoke. Although not much is known, two things have become clear. Northern Iran is spiraled into a complete anarchy, and the communist regime of the Kurdistan Democratic Republic must be more horrifying than anything could have predicted. Something doesn't add up. Fun fact, they're conducting the Trua Party as we speak now. Yeah. No, you do not. T the bug? I think I already know it. Tag her? Yeah, tag her. Yep. Assassination of the Shah. Tag. Sov. That's Sav. Sov. I'm saving around. You're now doing anti-Persian propaganda. Videos having new. I think your focus tree is done. At least not till the 60s. So let's see what will that be, a full war? Or will it be a fall to the Trua? Fall of Tehran? replaced the Lysenko system. During Stalin's era, biologists toughened Lysenko-centric theories on genetic and agriculture were endorsed by the state, with traditional Mendelian geneticists prosecuted poor crop yield over the years, have proven Lysenkoism to be a failure at the best and quackery at the worst. And with our current understanding of science, we will rejoin the scientific community when it comes to genetics and get our agriculture back on track. Oh no, the coup. It was a failed coup. Saudi Arabia today has arrested a dozen Air Force personnel who were planning to overthrow the Saudi state. Many more arrests expected to follow in the aftermath. The government has led a long suspected Nasrists had infiltrated the military and the middle class. The government said the plotters were about to launch a putsch and would see Riyadh taken over and air raid on key government facilities. President Nasser, who a radio carrier has long advocated for the liberation of the Arab world, would bring the liberation of Riyadh, and the breakup of the plot will no doubt be a great blow to the regional objective. The failure of the coup will no doubt push the Saudi government to strengthen the oversight of the military and increase its paranoia. Prince Talal and the younger prince, who had been sympathetic to Nasser and a transition to the constitutional government, will be on much greater scrutiny by the Saudi king. The United States will be breathing a sigh of relief to help prevent the fall of a critical ally in the region. A close call for the House of Saud. Sadly not for the House of Pahlavi, although this is the event where we can send our boys to help the kids out. Right, we have no supply down here. Right. That's a supply. Supply looks fine. A tempting offer. Today we received a borderline insane proposal by the Kurdish Democratic Republic. The KGB informants have reported million military build-up on Kurdish state. No one predicted this because of the water shortages. The Kurds have expressed their desire for us to enter hostilities with Iran, a US major ally, and secure Late Orania, therefore their people. Many of the Kremlin have already rejected this outlandish idea. If we insist on the invasion, we could risk plunging the world into a nuclear hellfire. However, if we accept the Kurds would promise the province of South Azerbaijan be easy pickings, this is guaranteed because of the denuclearization efforts in Iran will be unable to make the organized defense of the region. The Red Army will serve within a week. Each 6 divisions will be called up and a possible invasion. One choice. So save, so the US doesn't think about it. And youngster won't die for Tabriz. We're winning in our province. So we're taking Tabriz, Soviet annex of South Azerbaijan. Shocking news rocks the world as the first time since 1945 the Soviet border expanded. Well, I mean, technically there was Turkey, but what was thought to be a retreat from Kurdistan turns out to be a ruse. The wave of Kurdish refugees that flooded into Iran was not escaping but expanding communism. The destabilization of the rapid creation made it impossible for Iran to mount a coordinated defense, and the land was quickly taken by the joint Kurdish-Soviet forces. Despite obvious disregard for international law or committed by the Soviet Union, much of the blame was pointed at the UN, who failed to organize a response at the time. Our failure of international law has been cut into question the viability of the United Nations in calling for world peace. Because of competence displayed by both the UN and Iran easily be demonstrated by the column of Soviet armor rolling down to breeze. It's now a ramification cannot be predicted. However, one thing is certain: the Soviet boot is likely never leave northern Iran. Wherever the Yanks. So now we've got core state over Azerbaijan Shagi. And the People's Republic of China offers a general election in Taiwan. For the first time, the time with the nationalists since the truce in 1946, the chairman of the Communist Party of China, Mao Zedong, has announced that he will offer a new proposal for Taiwan, which entails the general election of the mainland and China and Taiwan, along with the island, comprise the entirety of both nations. This general election, Mao says, has the purpose of unifying both our nations and decide the fate of China, letting the people choose between the Kuomintang and the Communist Party of China. It remains seen if Taiwan will accept the offer, but many experts say it merely ploy for Mao to show affability and legitimacy in his regime. I hope the Operation Heaven. The situation of the Kuomintang in Burma is gradually becoming delicate, with the pressure of the United Nations on to Taiwan slowly making the removal of its troops from the southern southeastern nation, but it suffers from political instability due to infighting between the Kuomintang insurgents and the Burmese communist insurgents. I think it should be government forces, but still. And due to corruption and drug addictions, if it was due to pressure from the Republic of China that decided to begin Operation Heaven, in which these forces being adamant on the very small reduction of the insurgent army. Tensions were high, but it was eventually agreed that they should evacuate the Kuomintang troops from Burma. With months of negotiation, the Kuomintang began to make a three-phase withdrawal that was half-hearted, which supposed Chinese evacuation looking like Shan or Lahuz from Burma, while rusting in museum pieces is instead of modern American military weaponry. A dissolution of the Kuomintang insurgency was declared, but 6,000 irregular Kuomintang troops remain in Burma, where fighting began months later. One less warlord in Burma. No, they're still there. They're still gonna try and do their own thing. But it's still there. Come on, guys. I managed to win that easily. You can easily beat 2. Oh, but... Okay, it's Swedish Democrats one again. It looks like there's a war I can intervene in. Anyway, the SAP, or the Social Democratic Party, Swedish Social Democratic Party, the victorious in the 58th Swedish election, achieved a major victory in the recent election, swinging the largest number of seats it is expected to form a coalition with other left-leaning parties, including potentially a centrist Harvard. Yeah, we've already fought. More important factors is the health visa fans in Tongkon and Bain de Buan. So how many truths will you want? Alexa, stop. Okay, so Until then, you're gonna take one. You've seen action. You're going in. And with that is the end of today's video. So troops are gonna help the Vietnam and help the communist South Vietnamese take over Vietnam. The Yunnan troops are slowly leaving Yunnan. Well, Sha State, but basically Yunnan. Okay. I'm gonna wait to see. You know, I'm gonna prolong this video just to see will Kurdistan take Azerbaijan Gabi? Come on, lads. I guess do a focus while I'm doing it. With force planning towards consumer good output, the Soviet industry conversely has, for the most part, been focused on heavy industry necessary building an initial industrialization of the Great Period. Our economy is good enough shape to refocus production towards consumer goods to save people who truly enjoy a worker's paradise and put imperialists to shame. Kurds defeat Iran in the border conflict. They don't even get from the street. You're seemingly doing nothing. Get that fund. Well done, lads. Border here. I don't know. Are you here? You here? Are you? You're in NATO. You're not. Weirdly enough. So put you on the border there, I guess. I have no. You. Give it another day. Okay, you're not even taking a focus, so tag per F revolutionary civil war. Oh, you actually were going in downfall of Tehran. I just didn't have enough spy stuff. Well, the guys that died was me. Okay, so that was me being dumb. I'm deeply sorry, Iran. Time to solve. Okay, first things first. I'm pretty sure you don't have. We can move you to Iran because they actually have a focus tree that has stuff on it. B. Helping the South Vietnamese Liberation Army do its thing. Iran's going to fall to a communist revolution next time. And what are allies doing? You are. Can you actually do anything? You can't even do anything, so till the 60s, I guess. You're encouraging scientific development. You're insensitive urban migration. You're encouraging Soviet tourism. You're increasing consumer goods production. You're reconstructing Yugoslavia. you're getting agricultural modernization, you're employing Soviet tanks, you're getting crackdown on religion, you're housing expansion in Vienna, you're placating Soviet fears, you're getting market reforms. You can't do anything, we don't know. But the guess is resistance to the Stalinist efforts. So you either could go back to Stalinism or go some level of Maoism. You're liberalizing. You haven't done the Sino-Soviet split yet, or you're not even planning to. You're also doing crop experiments. You don't have a focus tree, if I remember. Yeah, you don't. And you've gone neutral anyway. You're arresting Pak Hon-yong. You don't have a focus tree. But you haven't had your elections yet either. So I don't think you can even do it. Well, I mean, you can get recovery from the war. And a bunch of military things, but that's why you don't do that. You don't have a focus tree, if I'm correct. Yeah, you don't have a focus tree. You're limited to voter suppression. You are probably acknowledging the failures of the Geneva Accords. Can you do anything now? No? No, you can't still do anything. You can't do anything. I know, it's being invaded. You can't do anything. Okay. As well. Oh. Has the Arab Federation actually got a faction? No, you still do not have a faction. I wonder if there's going to be a Iraqi revolution. You are probably one of those things because you can't do anything else. Probably could do. My eyes are deceiving me. But basically, things are doing themselves. You've taken control. Because the 1958 elections for you have happened. So, yeah, that's everything so far. I guess really this. You can't do anything. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Communist Iran, that's going to be lit. So can't wait for that. Next time, hope you see you dead. This is me, Mountain Limit, signing out. Hope you have a good day. Goodbye. And hope you see you then. Also, Yahya al-Fayyan has fully taken over. All you now need is the revolution of 1959. Boom, everything's done with. Anyway, goodbye. Bye.